Imagine walking into a cozy little pub on an ordinary evening, expecting nothing more than laughter, casual chatter, and maybe a pint of beer. Suddenly, the room falls silent, a guitar strums, and the voice that has filled the biggest stadiums in the world begins to echo off the wooden walls. Yes, it's him. Chris Martin, the iconic frontman of Coldplay, standing just a few feet away from unsuspecting fans, giving them a once-in-a-lifetime performance. Stay tuned, because this isn't just a casual gig, it's the kind of magical moment fans will be talking about for years. And before we dive deeper, don't forget to hit like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you never miss updates about Coldplay and Chris Martin's unforgettable surprises. The news spread like wildfire across social media. Chris Martin had appeared in a small neighborhood pub and performed live, completely unannounced. No massive LED screens, no pyrotechnics, no stadium lights, just raw talent, pure music, and the intimate energy of a crowd that couldn't believe what was happening. Videos began circulating almost instantly, with fans gasping, screaming, and even crying as they realized they were in the presence of one of the most legendary voices of modern music. For many, it was a dream come true, to see Chris Martin, not on a distant stage, but right in front of them, almost close enough to touch. Eyewitnesses described the moment as surreal. One fan said, "I thought someone was playing Coldplay on the speakers, and then I looked up and saw Chris with his guitar. My heart stopped. This is the kind of moment you tell your grandchildren about." Another added, "It was the most human performance I've ever seen. No lights, no effects, just Chris, his voice, and the songs we all love." The performance included stripped-down acoustic versions of Coldplay classics, from emotional ballads to anthems that usually shake stadiums to their core. But why was Chris Martin there? Was it a secret project, a warm-up before a tour, or just a spontaneous act of kindness to remind fans of the magic of live music? That's the question everyone is asking. Some insiders speculate that Chris Martin has been experimenting with more intimate performances as a way to reconnect with audiences on a personal level. Others suggest it was simply his way of surprising fans and giving back. After all, Coldplay has always been known for their global reach, their massive concerts, and their breathtaking visuals, but this stripped-down version of Chris Martin showed the man behind the music in his rawest, most authentic form. Halfway through the gig, something unexpected happened that left the entire pub buzzing. Chris paused between songs, looked around at the stunned faces, and hinted that fans might want to keep an eye out for what's coming next. Was this a clue about a new Coldplay project? A secret album? An upcoming intimate tour? The teaser left fans and the internet in absolute suspense, sparking thousands of theories and endless speculation. And that's the beauty of Chris Martin. He knows how to keep the mystery alive, making every moment not just about music, but about storytelling. The energy inside the pub was electric. Phones were out, cameras were rolling, but many fans admitted they simply put their devices down, wanting to soak in the once-in-a-lifetime experience without distractions. In an age where every moment is captured and shared, this performance reminded people of the simple joy of being present. Chris Martin's voice, unfiltered and raw, filled the room with emotion. Each lyric resonated, every note carried weight, and fans left the pub with memories they'll never forget. Online reactions exploded. On Twitter, hashtags like #ChrisMartinPubGig and #ColdplaySurprise trended worldwide. TikTok was flooded with clips showing Chris casually blending into the pub atmosphere before blowing everyone away with his music. YouTube reaction videos began popping up within hours, with fans from around the globe wishing they could have been there. One fan commented, "This is why Chris Martin is a legend. He doesn't need a stage, he is the stage." Another wrote, "This makes me love Coldplay even more. It's like he gave us a glimpse into who he really is as a musician and a person." The impact of this gig goes beyond just a night of surprise entertainment. It speaks to the power of music to unite people in unexpected places, to break down barriers, and to remind us of why artists like Chris Martin have endured for decades. Coldplay isn't just about spectacle, they're about connection. And in that pub, under dim lights and surrounded by strangers who became family for the night, Chris Martin created a moment of pure magic that no arena could replicate, and here's the twist. What if this wasn't a one-time thing? What if Chris Martin plans to continue surprising fans around the world with intimate gigs, turning ordinary nights into extraordinary memories? Imagine him showing up at a cafe in Paris, a rooftop in New York, or even a subway station in Tokyo. The possibilities are endless, and fans are already buzzing with anticipation. The very idea has injected a fresh wave of excitement into the Coldplay fandom, making every outing feel like it could turn into an unforgettable encounter. As the night drew to a close, Chris Martin thanked the crowd, smiled warmly, and slipped away as quietly as he had arrived. But the echoes of his performance lingered. People didn't just leave with videos on their phones, they left with stories etched in their hearts. For some, it was the best concert they'd ever attended, not because of the scale, but because of the intimacy. It was a reminder that sometimes, the most powerful performances don't happen under blinding lights, but in the quiet corners of everyday life. This impromptu pub gig has now become part of Coldplay lore, a story that will sit alongside their biggest milestones. And it's a story that will continue to grow, as fans speculate on what Chris Martin hinted at, dissect his every word, and wait for the next surprise. One thing is certain, Chris Martin has proven, yet again, why he is one of the most beloved figures in music. His ability to move seamlessly from stadium grandeur to pub intimacy shows not just his versatility, but his deep love for connecting with people. In the days that followed, more details began to emerge. Some locals revealed that Chris had been spotted quietly arriving hours before the performance, blending in casually, wearing a simple hoodie and jeans. He ordered a drink, chatted with a few regulars, and then, almost without warning, picked up a guitar that had been sitting in the corner. It was spontaneous, it was unrehearsed, and it was absolutely unforgettable. This detail added to the mythology of the moment. Chris wasn't there as a superstar, he was there as a fellow human being, sharing music the way it was meant to be shared. Music journalists have already begun comparing the performance to iconic surprise gigs of the past, like when Paul McCartney showed up unannounced or when U2 played in the streets of New York. But many argue this was even more special, because it stripped away all barriers and placed Chris Martin in one of the most ordinary yet extraordinary settings possible. For Coldplay fans, it was proof that the band's legacy isn't just about scale, but about soul. Even industry insiders are paying attention. There's speculation that Chris's pub gig could mark the beginning of a trend where major artists reconnect with grassroots venues, bringing music back to its raw essence. If this is true, Chris Martin may have just sparked a cultural shift in live music experiences, reminding the world that sometimes, less really is more. For now, fans are holding on to every clip, every memory, and every word he spoke that night. Theories continue to swirl. Was his mysterious hint a clue about a secret Coldplay project? Could this intimate approach influence the sound of their next album? Only time will tell. What's certain is that the pub gig wasn't just a performance, it was history in the making. So, what do you think this surprise performance means? Is Chris Martin planning something bigger? Could this be the start of a new era for Coldplay? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, we'd love to hear your theories. And don't forget to subscribe, because if Chris Martin decides to surprise fans again, you'll want to be the first to know. Until then, let's cherish the magic of that unforgettable pub night, when the world's biggest rock star reminded us all of the beauty of simple, human connection through music.